Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Yarani and I make travel videos about my country, which is Jamaica, and travel videos about countries that I would like to travel to and countries I guess I'm planning to go to. Is that the same thing? That's the same thing. Yeah, so stick around if you're interested in finding out more about Jamaica and about my travels. So here we go. This video will be a two-part video. The first part will be about countries or people from countries that need a visa to come to our country or don't need a visa to come to Jamaica. And the second part will be about countries that Jamaicans can travel to without a visa. You'll only need a passport. Alright, so let's get started. There are really 4 ways you can come into the country. You can come into the country with just a passport, which we'll consider as visa-free countries, where you come into Jamaica without a visa, just your passport. And there are 3 different requirements. You can either stay as long as 180 days, which is 6 months or half a year, or you can stay 90 days, or you can stay for 30 days. And these depend on the countries that you're from. And then you have visa on arrival. Now, visa on arrival, depending on the country you're from, that would be required. And that way, you can come into the country and pay when you get to Jamaica while passing through immigration. And then the other method is traveling, but you're requiring a visa before coming into the country. And then the other one is an unconditional landing. Alright, so let's start with visa-free. Now for visa-free, if you're from a country that is a part of the Commonwealth group, which is about 52 countries, minus Jamaica, 51 countries. If you're a part of the Commonwealth, if your country is a part of Commonwealth, then you are able to travel to Jamaica for 6 months, which is half a year, or 180 days. And because the list is very long, I am not going to spend the time to go through all of that. So what I'm going to do is just place a list of all the countries that can stay in Jamaica for 180 days. Now, if your country is not on that list at all, not to worry. There is also an option for other countries to travel to Jamaica and spend 90 days or 3 months in the country. And this is a list of all the countries that can stay for 3 months or 90 days in Jamaica. And again, if your country is still not on that list, still not to worry, because it could be on the other list, which allows citizens from other countries to stay in Jamaica for 30 days. Now, in this list, if your country is still not on that list, not to worry, because you can receive a visa on arrival. And this is a list of all the countries that can travel to Jamaica by receiving a visa on arrival. The cost for the visa on arrival is $100 US. So just remember that when you're coming into the country, just get your $100 ready to pay immigration officer when you get to the airport. If you're not on the visa-free list, if you're not on the visa on arrival list, then chances are you are fortunate to have an unconditional landing stamp in your passport. Now, what an unconditional landing stamp does, it allows you to come into the country unconditionally. That way you don't have a limit to how long you can stay in the country. And this can only be given by the Jamaican authorities. So if you have one of these, ensure that when you're coming to the country, you just bring it with you, even if it's an old passport. Just bring the old passport with you. I'm not sure if they'll transfer it for you, but if you need more information, you can reach out to your embassy or the Jamaican embassy that's in your country if you need more information, because sometimes these things change and I cannot guarantee that the information that I'm providing now will be the same when you decide to come into the country. And if your name is not on any of the list and you don't have an unconditional pass or stamp, landing stamp, then your country will be a part of the list that requires a visa. There are some exceptions, because if you're still not on any of these lists, but you have a US visa, a UK visa, a Canadian visa, or you are a part of the country that is a part of the Schengen member group or the Schengen member of countries, then you can have the visa waived. So you wouldn't need a visa to come into the country. For citizens of Taiwan, unfortunately, Jamaica doesn't recognize the Taiwan passport. Based on my information or that I read about, Taiwan is not considered as a country, I guess a part of that 196 that they refer to. However, if you have an affidavit of identity, then you still can come into the country if you have that type of identity. For Caymanians, when I was 9 years old, I remember going to the Cayman Islands, and I didn't need a visa to go to the Cayman Islands, but things has changed, and now Jamaicans as well as the Cayman Islands, they need visa to go to both countries. So if you are from the Cayman Islands, just make sure that you find out about their visa requirement before you come into the country, because back then you might be, if you traveled to Jamaica before without a visa, chances are you might not be able to do that now. So just find out before you come into the country, or before trying to get to the country, you know exactly what to expect and what you need to get to Jamaica. People from British Virgin Islands, holders of that passport, you also need a visa to come into the country. I'm not sure why, but yeah, you need a visa. The visa costs for those who require a visa before entering the country, it varies, so you have to ensure to check with the embassy before you get to the country, and I can't stress this enough. Ensure that you check with the embassy, the Jamaican embassy, wherever they are, before you come to the country, because if you enter the country without a visa and you're from a country that was required a visa before coming to the country, the fee is $350 US. So ensure that you get your visa ready before you come into the country, and this is for countries that require a visa before entering, not visa on arrival, but you require a visa. So for example, those from the Cayman Islands, your visa will be around $102 US. It might increase depending on when you decide to come, and therefore if you do not ensure that you get your visa before you come into the country, the charge is going to be $350 US. So make sure you get it sorted. So I almost forgot this one. For the diplomats, if you have a diplomat passport from Brazil, Chile, Cuba, El Salvador, Russia, or Colombia, you can travel to Jamaica without a visa because of your diplomacy. So that's why it's important to have, be a diplomat. That's the information I have about people or citizens from other countries coming into the country. The next video, which will be next Tuesday, I will be sharing the other part of this video, which will have countries that Jamaicans can travel to without a visa. Now, I hope this was very informative, and I hope that if you didn't know before that Jamaica, your country needed a visa, now you find out your country needed a visa. It's good to have information ready so you're not surprised when you get to the airport and find out that you booked your ticket but you can't leave because you don't have the required documents to get into the country. So just ensure that before you plan to come to the country, ensure that you know all the information you need to have if you're traveling on a particular passport. That's all the information I have for now. If you have seen the list of countries and your country is not on the list, feel free to comment below and let me know so I can find out more information about your country. Or what you can do is reach out to the Jamaican embassy in your country, hopefully one's there, and try find out if you can come to Jamaica without a visa. So yeah, this is what I have today for you. I hope that it was informative. I hope that I shed some light on things that you might need to come into the country based on the country that you're coming from. I hope you learned something, and I hope you have something to tell someone about Jamaica whenever they plan to come to the country. And look out for more information on things about Jamaica. I think that is it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you soon. See you on Thursday.